Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess, here to do your reading for the 1st of October. I don't know what happened to the reading yesterday. I did do one for Sunday. I did it before I went out and I did it before I posted that message that I did personally, but I don't know what happened. When I went looking for it last night, it seems to have completely disappeared. So it was very strange and I do apologise for that. But never mind, we'll catch up from here on inwards. So firstly, big thank you for the people who've subscribed to my channel. I continue to grow daily. I'm really impressed with the way everything's happening and loving the journey so very much. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love to have you on board. But if my readings don't resonate with you, then I'm okay with you moving on too. What else can I tell you? I think that's it. Let's just get straight into the reading this morning, I think. So I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot. I actually went and shouted myself some new tarot packs yesterday, but I particularly fell in love with the Nicoletta Ciccoli one, but because the cards aren't numbered, I need to get used to using it, so I won't practice on you yet. And I did buy some vampire cards for Halloween, so I'll be using those over the next week or so. Have them all ready to have a look over and get familiar with. So, all right, we're ready. What's cracking for Monday, the 1st of October? Okay, so first out we have the Nine of Wands. Now, this card talks about... in that right away, he looks much more wounded than this guy. In fact, he looks very different in most decks, because here he's definitely on guard, right? You can see him pacing up and down with his, his row of wands there. He's fenced people off. He's put boundaries in place and he's keeping guard. And this is the energy that most of you are putting out at the moment, because this is the energy the cards are bringing in. So I fear for a lot of you that there's something you're protecting yourself from at the moment. I'm not quite sure whether that's relationships with people or whether it's just situations. But you're definitely on guard against something here. In this one, however, he looks very confident marching up and down. So, as I said, in the other decks, he always looks quite wounded, but definitely on a mission there. So the first card we get out is the Two of Swords. Now the Two of Swords talks about having a decision to make, and the decision is very much in your head, because I mean it's swords for starters, so it's ideas, concepts, things that you need to think out. The moon is here, which sort of signifies that there's a little bit unknown in this picture. But what's troubling this person she's got something across her eyes. She's also crossing her heart and protecting her heart, or his heart, whichever. But this says to me that there's something that you need to make a decision on that you're blind to, or you're turning a blind eye to, or you just don't want to make a decision because you just don't want to see that it's there for you to make. So sometimes this comes up if we have to make a decision that we don't want to make, or we have a decision where there are two options that are equally as fulfilling. So this can be for you moving on from a relationship and making the choice to go alone. And that, with the emotions all in the background here, that would make sense, and some of the rockiness. So it might be for a lot of you that you have to make a decision today to move away from something that you don't particularly want to, but you have no choice. Sometimes it can be cutting out people in your life too. Okay, so the next card we have up is the Four of Cups. Now already I'm getting this feeling here that some of you have had an offer from someone and you're trying to make up your mind whether to accept that or not. I feel with the Nine of Wands first up, it's almost like you've put up a little bit of a boundary or a fence because you're not sure what this person has to offer is the real deal. And whether that's work or... And it's funny because I was just talking to a friend of mine who's just had a contract from work, and the contract is really ambiguous and probably not the sort of thing you want to put your name to. So it could be that you're in a situation like this too, where somebody's offering you something. It's not quite what you want. It's not quite kosher. There's something dodgy about it, but you can't put your finger on it, but you don't want to accept it. And now you have to make the decision on whether to move on or not, or whether to sign up on the dotted line. Okay, and the next card is the Ace of Swords. Now, I like this coming up now, because what this says to me is that you need to now have a new start here. Now, this new start could still mean that you're going ahead with this, whatever it is, But in order to move on it, you need to come into your truth here and speak. So if you're trying to make a decision whether to, follow a career through this offer, follow a relationship, whatever it is, your new start needs to stand with you making the decision to speak your truth here. And the sort of truth might be, I don't like what you're offering, I would like this instead. Or what you're offering to me doesn't suit me because I would rather do this. Or it's about telling the truth about something that just doesn't sit right with you. But I like that you're making a new start and that you've chosen to make this new start by starting with this truth about being honest, a bit straightforward about what it is you want from this situation. Because I'm sure a lot of people sign those contracts without checking, because here you stand to get the Ten of Cups here. So this option, if you play this right and you speak up right, you are in a position here where you can have everything you want. There's just something really, really good about this offer. But for some unknown reason, it's not quite what you want. And you need to now speak up and say, not quite what I want this instead. Because you will get your wishes answered here. Okay, so this offer could be coming from a Knight of Pentacles. And I've got to say, this Knight is a very slow mover. He could be Capricorn, Taurus or Virgo, but he's a very slow mover. We know that with the Knight of Pentacles. The reason being is because the earth signs have this reputation of being very thorough, going through every little fine dot point. And if it's a contract you're trying to sign now or a relationship you're moving forward on, you want to be sure that you've got everything correct here before you move on it. And I would dare say that this could be you or it could be the other person's energy. So whichever way it goes, you need to make sure that you have all the details correct before you move ahead. But definitely an offer of stability here from someone. More likely that that's their energy rather than their star sign, but you could be dealing with that. So this shows someone walking away, and that sounds quite reasonable here because I feel like you're going to have to move away first to get the offer you want. I feel like it's sort of like, well, if you're not willing to offer me what I need from you, it sounds really selfish when I say that, but I'm not meaning this in a selfish way, although there's nothing wrong with being selfish really. But what I'm trying to say is it might be that someone's come in and offered you, a relationship, but they only want to see you one day a week. And you may walk away from that offer because you think that that's not enough. You'd like to see them more frequently. That's just a loose explanation. But the Eight of Cups shows someone walking away to find their Two Cups. So there's a lot of cups in this reading. So you could be dealing with a water sign, a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Very, very lot of cup energy. A lot of love energy. But this person here has put you in this position where you need to make this decision. And again, we see the moon in the background that's not quite exposed. So there's still truth to come out here. Okay, and then we have the Sun. Look, there's a number of cards in here that talk of positive messages. The Sun's beautiful because, as you know, the Sun provides life, growth, joy, happiness. It's warm. It's lovely. And it is the nicest card in the pack. There's no doubt about that. And you also have the Ten of Cups here, which talks about ultimate fulfillment. So I'm thinking there's a number of things here that show that this is actually a really good offer. It just means that you need to put your stamp on it, as it were. I'd like to accept, but I want this instead. It sort of could be, somebody coming in to say, I want to live with you, and you saying, no, I don't want to live with you, I want to get married. And then having to go away while then they think about getting married. But in all fairness, this is a slow process. It's probably driving some people up the wall waiting for answers here. And then we have the Queen of Cups. Now, again, with the water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. The Queen of Cups is a woman who can be quite emotional. But she's definitely, very loving and caring. This could be the person you're dealing with at the moment. But I think this is more likely to be you. I feel like you're in this place at the moment where you're wanting to have love in your life. You're wanting to have a relationship. But maybe not everybody's coming up with the goods. Okay, and then we have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, you've been manifesting this for a while. So I feel like this is something that you've been waiting on, this love to come in. I think you've been manifesting this for a while. But it's certainly coming your way now, and it's really nice because what you've done is you've brought forth something into creation that you've wanted, and I like that. Especially that you're feeling in this very loving and caring mood, like you'd like to have a relationship now. And the last card is death. So this walking away from this situation is going to allow you to go through a transformation. Okay, so there could be a number of things here without getting too deep into it because it is a general reading. I feel like even though you're ready for love, perhaps this person's not quite ready. And either one or both of you, after this offer, will both need to go inside and do a little bit of soul searching because both of you need to ensure that you're travelling in the right direction. So if the other person hasn't given you the offer and you're holding out on them, what you will get back is a good solid offer. But in the meantime, it looks as though both you and them have a little bit of growth to do here. So it means you need to go inside and have a bit of time to think about what it is you actually want. And that can be quite scary sometimes because when you stand your ground and say what you're doing isn't quite good enough or you shouldn't be treating me that way and the person walks away, you feel like you stand the risk of losing them by standing your ground. But I can tell you now that's not what's happening here. This person will love and respect you more for being straight up about what it is you want. Lovely reading. Lovely reading. Thank you.